Assalamu alaikum and good morning my dear students. How are you guys doing? Hope you all are doing well and I welcome all of you to today's biology class. So dear students, what we learned in the previous class? We learned about the male and female reproductive system. We learned about the male reproductive system with different parts and also its functions. Likewise, we learned the female reproductive system, its parts and its functions, right? So in today's class, we will be learning about the fertilization in human beings. Okay, so what will happen during the fertilization in human beings? In the plants, we have already discussed, right? That is the fusion of male gamete, that is the germ cells from the pollen grains, and also it will fuse with the egg cells in the female. Likewise, in human also the process is same, that is the fusion of male gamete sperm with the female gamete egg. But as we have a specialized organ system in both male and female, then how the fertilization will be occurring? So we know that it is the fusion of male and female gametes and the formation of zygote. And let's see how the fertilization occur in human. Okay. So let's look how the fertilization occurs in the human. Okay. So the sperms, that is the male gametes, enter through the vaginal passage of female during the sexual intercourse. And this sperm will travel upwards and reach the fallopian tube or oviduct, where they may encounter the egg. And what happens? The egg and sperm get fused and the zygote will be formed. After the zygote formation, the zygote starts dividing and form a ball of cells or embryo. First, the zygote will divide into 2 cells, then 4, then 8, 16, 32. Like the zygote will continuously divides and it will become a ball of cells, or we can call it as embryo. Now the embryo is implanted in the lining of the uterus, where they continue to grow and develop organs to become fetus. The lining thickens and is richly supplied with blood to nourish the growing embryo. So the embryo gets nutrition from the mother's blood with the help of a special tissue called the placenta. Okay, so the developing embryo will get the nutrition from the mother's body through the placenta. This is a disc which is embedded in the uterine wall. It contains villi. Okay, small hair-like structures on the embryo side of the tissue. On the mother's side, there is blood spaces, which is surrounded by the villi. So this will provide a large surface area for glucose and oxygen to pass from the mother's body to the embryo. And the developing embryo will also generate waste substances which can be removed by transferring them into the mother's blood through the placenta. Okay. So as you know, the development of the child inside the mother's body takes approximately 9 months, and the child is born as a result of the rhythmic contractions of the muscles in the uterine and through the birth canal, that is through the vagina, the baby is delivered. So this is how the fertilization occurs in the human, that is the fusion of male gamete sperm and female gamete egg. Okay, so now what will happen when the egg is not fertilized? What will happen if the egg is not fertilized, or what will happen if the sperm will not fuse with if the sperm doesn't fuse with the egg? So if the egg is not fertilized, it lives for about 1 day. And you know that the ovary releases 1 egg every month. The uterus also prepares itself every month to receive a fertilized egg by making a thick lining in the uterus wall made of blood spaces. It will be thick and spongy, and this would be required for nourishing the embryo if fertilization had taken place. But what will happen if the fertilization doesn't take place? This lining is not needed any longer. right? So the lining slowly breaks and comes out through the vagina as blood and mucus. And this cycle takes place roughly every month and it is called a menstruation. Okay, so if the fertilization doesn't occur in the female, in every month they will get menstruated, that is menstruation will takes place, and this menstruation usually lasts for about 2 to 8 days. Okay, it's simply the breaking of the lining of the uterus. Okay, if the fertilization doesn't occur every month, the lining of the uterus wall will break and it will slowly comes out through the vagina as the blood and mucus. Okay, so this is the process called menstruation. So this is about the fertilization in human beings. Next we have to discuss about the reproductive health. So the reproductive organs need a lot of care and hygiene. Otherwise they are susceptible to many infectious diseases. Okay, infections or diseases. So the diseases which spread through sexual routes are known as sexually transmitted diseases. You might have heard about the AIDS, that is caused by the HIV virus, right? And there are some other diseases like syphilis, gonorrhea, etc. Okay, so we have to keep sexual hygiene. Okay, so the reproductive organs need a lot of care and hygiene. So you know that frequent pregnancy may cause many health problems in females and also adds to the already exploding population. That means it will increase the population size. Okay, so we have to prevent the pregnancy in somehow. So it can be achieved by different ways. One is barrier method. That is creating a mechanical barrier so that sperm does not reach the egg. For that we can use condoms on the penis or similar coverings can be worn in the vagina for this purpose. Okay, and others we can use diaphragm, cervical caps, etc. And next we have contraceptive method or chemical methods. These include the use of drugs, that is it can be taken orally as pills, okay, or vaginal pills, and this will create some hormonal changes but it have some side effects too. And there is some other contraceptive devices such as the loop or the copper T which can be placed in the uterus to prevent the pregnancy. Again they can cause side effects due to the irritation of the uterus. Okay, next one is surgical method. It consists of removing or tying a small part of the vas deferens in male. If the vas deferens in the male is blocked, sperm transfer will be prevented. Okay, likewise if the fallopian tube in the female is blocked, the egg will not be able to reach the uterus. So in both cases fertilization will not take place. So this is about the different methods for preventing the pregnancy. Okay, so dear students, in today's class we learned about how the fertilization occurs in the humans, how the male gamete fuses with the female gamete, and how the embryo is formed and how the embryo will develop into a fetus, right? And then we discussed what will happen if the fertilization doesn't occur, or if the fertilization occur to fail to occur, right? And also we discussed about the reproductive health and various methods to prevent the pregnancy. Okay, that's all about today's topics. I think all of you understood, and this is the end of this chapter, that is how the organisms reproduce. Hope you all understood. So we will meet in the next class. Okay, thank you.